not that bad. There's a briefcase in the water.
I love it. And, here we are. Jeremy, I think we decided this is episode 12, 13.
12, 13, 18.
I think we got past 10 and it was like, fuck it, we're doing great.
We're doing great.
We don't need to count anymore. But Jeremy, I'm excited for this episode because we talked about it a couple episodes back about, how I had this bartender. And, great bartender, but I think it was probably like 2 years that he was making, I believe it was a mojito with vodka.
So it was a mojito.
Yeah. So we decided.
So a mojito is made with rum.
It is. Yeah, for all of you, mojito has rum.
I found that out.
But now our guest made it with vodka for 2 years.
Yes.
And nobody knew the difference.
No, not a person said a word. Like, I was shocked when he told me that that's how he makes it. And I'm like, and no one has said shit for years?
I think people just like the mint. They don't really care about the liquor. As long as it tastes the mint, they're like,
Mint,
whatever.
simple sugar, and it's strong. That's it.
Literally. They're like, soda's on here? Okay.
So it was great. So you guys, this is Lot. Welcome Lot to the show. And, it's funny about Lot because Lot is a bartender now. And, Lot.
After the mojito, still bartender.
So Lot worked for me. God, how long on and off? I mean, did you start? Was it like 3 years ago working for me?
May 2020.
May 2020. Oh, God. Right after Corona.
No, literally.
All right. So Lot was a server for me, for a couple of years.
Yep.
And then, he always wanted to be a bartender, and I kind of fought back on it. I'm not going to lie.
Asshole.
I know. I love Lot to death. I hate training new bartenders from scratch. And I don't want to say hate because I love the fact that I can train people from scratch. There's no bad
Train
habits.
them the way you want to train them.
Exactly. But what I hate is how expensive it is to train a new bartender. You're gonna lose a lot of liquor. There's gonna be mistakes. I don't think anyone realizes how expensive it is to train. And we got hit by the hurricane, and we were done for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Year and a half. Maybe?
I think it was like a year and a half. Like year
They're
and 4
200.
months.
Sorry, 264 days.
Yep.
But he went to another restaurant in town, and you tell the story. How did you get that job, Lot?
So I lied.
No, a bartender that lied about bartender that makes vodka mojitos.
Dude, I walked into the interview, and the interview, I honestly did not think I was going to make it out. It looked like an episode of Trailer Park Boys. It was just like a random trailer on the construction site because the restaurant wasn't open yet. And I pulled up in like a t-shirt and shorts, and there's a dude in a full-piece suit. I had no idea why he was just dressed up to be a bartender. But I was like, I'm done. I'm like, I'm not beating this guy. So I went in there, and he's like, how long have you been bartending for? And I told him, I was like, okay, I've been a chaser for 3 years, so I've been bartending for about 3 years. I did not bartend one time. Actually, I did bartend 5 times.
I was going to say, you were at the pool bar the one time with Skylar.
Yes, but Joe does not like to train people, so I just showed up at the pool bar with Skylar. I was like a support role.
And got a free training route.
He got a free training route.
You did.
So he asked me, he's like, okay, so the only drink I knew how to make, by the way, I didn't know how to make a margarita, nothing.
How did you say it? Did you be like, I've been bartending at Chase's for 3 years?
I was like,
and I'm a bartender.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I've been bartending for 3 years at Chase's. And he was like, all right, Tom Cruise, I like this.
So you actually told him you bartended at Chase's for 3 years?
Yes. No, because what's he going to do, call Joe? Joe was on site. I knew he's not
What would you have done if he would have called you and said, hey, I got a gentleman in my office came in today, great guy, and he said he's been bartending for 3 years. Can you tell me a little bit about him?
Oh, I would have backed him up 100%. I didn't know that guy.
You totally would have lied.
I totally would have lied for Lot. I said, Lot is probably one of my favorite people.
That you wouldn't train to be a bartender?
Yeah, no, he was a great server. Just, he was good.
So you want to keep him serving?
Yeah.
I know he did.
So anyway, so you go to this restaurant. Are we going to call this? Are we going to stay in this restaurant here? So
they're closed now.
So you were in a trailer in front of Fish, FYSH, our good old Fish in town that's been having some issues. Well, not anymore, but they were having a lot of issues in the paper.
It's a fish in the water right now. That's all I had to say.
It's a dead fish in the water.
It's a very dead fish. Yeah, no, dude, Fish. How long was Fish open for? They were open for like what? A year and a half?
A little over a year.
Did they make
year and a half? Yeah, I think a little over a year.
Yeah.
It was small. It was minimal. I know that because I feel like I blinked and they were getting closed down.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think.
Well, you go in that restaurant. It had 3 kitchens. you're ordering from 3 separate things. You order sushi from this kitchen. You order pizza from this kitchen. You order any other item from this kitchen. The menu was a Bible. It was literally like 12, 15 pages with 20 to 30 items on each page. Had to have over 300 items. And that's only food, not talking about beer and liquor.
Yeah,
it's huge. I mean, it sat over like 400 and something people.
It was like a great value Cheesecake Factory.
It would have been great it would have been great in the Disney area of Orlando.
Oh, absolutely.
But in
killed it.
Port Orange, it was not going to. I said it the first day. I'm like, this is great, but it's not going to be successful.
And on Ridgewood, of like all places to put a restaurant in, like south of Ridgewood, I just don't see anything. I think every restaurant over there is closed down. The Hardee's closed down. Fish closed down.
The property, though, is beautiful, right
Did you
on the
see
water.
what it's going to be now? Like, it's going to be another...
Tiki Docks?
Yeah, Tiki Docks. A new...
So, it's the same guys that own Ford's Garage in, was that Tanger?
Oh, really?
Same guys that own Ford's
They
Garage.
have a couple of these in Tampa and St. Pete.
Yeah, so it's a restaurant group. They have, at least, they probably have a somewhat of a game plan, I would hope.
And capital to back it up.
Yeah, because, I mean, I think the hardest thing with that property is going to be just paying for the property every month. You know, that mortgage, well, not mortgage, it's going to be a rent for them, but I mean, that rent has got to be around $30,000 a month.
I think it was
28,000 or 32,000 a month.
I mean, it's got to be around there. So that's a tough nut to carry.
So anyway, you went in a guy in a 3-piece suit. Who's the guy in the 3-piece suit?
Oh, so he works at Hooligans now. If you're watching this, I forgot your name. But every time
your bar manager is in a 3-piece suit doing an interview.
No, just a random guy. Like, he's my buddy now, but
he was applying for the job.
Yeah, he was applying for the job. And every time I see him at Hooligans, I tell him that we should go hang out sometime, and I forgot his name. Please don't be saying this. But yeah, so I walked in there, and he's like, okay, so how do you make a Long Island iced tea? And that's the only drink I knew how to make. I didn't know how to make anything. Margarita, rum runner. I probably couldn't even make a vodka and water. And he was like, Long Island. I was like, every liquor, sour, Pepsi, boom. You know, besides whiskey, but.
Yeah.
But he's like, okay, you're hired. I'm like, that's the interview? He's like, yeah. He's like, you're gonna come in for training in 3 weeks, and you're a bartender. I was like, huh. I was like, that's pretty easy. Yeah. I was like, huh. And then all I think about was Joe, because Joe wouldn't trade me.
If I would have
like,
known that, I would know it was going to fail from day one. No offense.
Yeah, you know?
Tell me what's in a Long Island, and you automatically are a bartender.
Yeah. I'm like, this is great. I'm like, this is the best job ever. I'm like, Joe Ryan won't train me, but this guy will.
So you got in there. How long were you there?
I was there for like 4 or 5 months, because after like the 4th month, you could kind of tell like the place was going down. Like everybody was quitting. There was like manager scandal. It was honestly like, it was like a reality TV show. It's like the Kardashians. Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
You can say whatever you want.
So allegedly, the manager on deck, which I will not name, went to the office with like a 14-year-old, and he came out of the office with his shirt unbuttoned, allegedly. So after that, he quit. Next thing you know, I put in my 2 weeks to go work with you for Chases for one day.
Serving or bartending?
Bartending this time, I think. I think I brought you back
So
as
you
a
let
bartender.
somebody else train him, and then you brought him in as a bartender.
Absolutely.
After Fish fell apart.
Yeah, he wasted their liquor. And
With a mojito made from vodka.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't find that out till way later.
What was your question? Do you know how to make a rum and coke? You're hired.
Sir, get in here.
I do like in interviews, I like to throw a Cuba Libre in there and see if they know what it is.
Do you want a Cuba Libre?
Dude, I would not get hired. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, my God. Lot. Yeah, that's just embarrassing.
Come on.
Cuba Libre?
Cuba
Yeah.
Libre.
I can't even guess my way out of this.
Rum and Coke with a lime.
Oh, my God. I'm fired.
That's it.
Back to serving.
Is that what your test is?
So not my test, but when I'm in the interview, I'll usually throw out like a couple of like I'll ask what a Greyhound is, Cuba Libre, all stupid easy drinks that just the old time names that like the younger generation doesn't even know the name, but you get the old timers that are like, ooh yeah, let me get a Cuba Libre.
Sounds expensive.
It does, but it's just well rum and Coke,
Right.
I'll start using that. You want a Cuba Libre? They're going to be like, what?
Yeah.
All right, so you're there 5 months, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, and then I quit to go back to Chase's. I could just tell the place was going like nowhere. It was going nowhere, somewhere fast.
Yeah.
Like between like the management and then everybody was quitting because they weren't making any money. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm gonna go back to Chase's where I know we're gonna do like a $300,000 month. So I didn't even put my 2 weeks. I was like, hey guys, I'm not showing up next week. And they were like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What are you gonna do? Fire me?" And then I came back to Chase's. But Chase's, honestly, I feel like Chase's and honestly New Smyrna in general, there's so many restaurants. Like you can throw like a rock and hit a restaurant anywhere you are in New Smyrna.
Yeah.
There's just so many places to bartend. Like in Port Orange, I really can't name like more than 10 restaurants.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in New Smyrna, you could probably get fired from a bar job and still have like 20 other jobs that you can get fired from before you run out of New Smyrna.
Yeah. Unless they know you. Unless they know you by name.
Unless Joe calls every single one and says, "Don't hire this guy."
Yes.
He doesn't know how to make a Cuba Libre.
Yeah, no, like even when employees, I never give anyone a bad reference. Like with references, I'll always say, you know, they're rehireable or not rehireable. But if I know somebody, you know, like I'll talk them up. Like if someone called for lot and was like, "Hey, you know, I got this guy applying. You know, he's the person I would talk up. Like, yeah, he's gonna."
You know, my first question if I called and you were talking him up, why doesn't he work for you anymore?
Yeah.
That would be my first. After you were like, "Oh, Lot's great. He did a great job. He always showed up on time." I'd be like, "Joe, he sounds like a great employee." You're like, "Oh, yeah." And I'm gonna go, "So why doesn't he work for you?"
You know, no one's ever asked me that.
That's exactly what I would do.
That is a really good question.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I would do. And then if you stutter stepped, I know you're freaking lying.
Yeah, no one's ever
like,
asked me why.
right.
Wow.
Because you're talking so good about somebody. Why doesn't he work for you if he's that great?
I just don't call references because I know people are going to be lying to me.
But yet you're gonna lie to them.
Well, you know,
How many people have called you for a reference? Anybody you ever got called for a reference?
I mean, back in the day, sure, a lot. I mean, I might get one or two a year now. It's so very, very random and not very often.
That was like my biggest fear. Like as I get older and like apply different jobs, is like, let's say one of my references were gonna give like a bad rep. I don't think they would. But I used to work at Wendy's in high school, and I just stopped showing up. So I felt like as an adult, like maybe Joe would call Wendy's and be like, "Oh, why does he not work for you anymore?" And they'd be like, "Oh, he's a bleep. He never came back into work."
Well, here's the nice
He
thing.
stole
Lon.
Frosties.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. At least here in the state of Florida.
You know, it's illegal to talk about somebody. I can't say bad things about you.
What?
I can't even say factual things. The only thing I can really say is, would you rehire them? Yes or no?
Yep, that's
Technically,
all.
I can't talk. Even
What
if you,
the heck?
even if you stole, I pressed charges, and you went to jail, I still can't tell that. Actually, technically, I cannot tell that hiring person it's illegal. Now, most people do, because what do you think he's going to do? I'm like, dude, don't hire this guy. He stole from us. You think he's going to go tell me, get me in trouble? But technically, it's illegal to talk about someone to rehire. All you're allowed to say is, would you rehire Joe? And I'd be like, no, I would not. Yeah. For example, that's all you can say.
Yeah, you can't go into detail.
Was he late? Was he on
why.
time? You could say he was always on time and he was a great employee, but you can't be like, oh, well, he was late and he stole and he got caught doing this and he walked out on his shift. You actually can't talk negative about it.
Yeah, you can't talk negative about a past employee.
So you're good, Lot. You're good.
Yeah, you're gonna
no
be
one's
fine.
gonna talk about the Slurpees you stole from 7-Eleven, all right, bro? You good?
I think weren't you the manager of that Wendy's in high school?
I was like a key holder.
Yeah.
Which I have no idea how I did that.
What is a key holder at Wendy's? You just lock the door?
Yeah, literally. You lock the door, you do inventory. You're basically like, instead of getting $8.05 an hour, you get $9. And
you could get 95 cents more. So.
yeah, literally, dude. I think I asked. So they want to make me an assistant. They want to make me the AGM of Wendy's in high school.
And
so
you were, what, 16 and a half? Motherfucker, 16 and a half AGM of Wendy's. What does that tell you about fast food?
Dude, and the craziest part is, I was okay. I'm like, so what's the pay? They're okay. Hear me out. It's 55 hours a week, $11 an hour. And I looked at them in the face, and I was like, you guys are crazy. If you think I'm going to be in here 55 hours a week for $11 an hour, I was like, you're nuts.
And we're going back, what, 10 years?
That was what, 2015, 16? Yeah, like 8-9 years ago.
All right.
And I thought I was making bank at $8.05 an hour. I thought I was making money back at
You
$8.05.
weren't making $8.05. You're making $9 an
I was
hour.
making $9, man. I was making $9.
Key holder motherfucker over there.
I was killing it. Bring back my $200 paycheck smiling.
With Frosties and everything. And then just stop showing up.
And now, that same worker is getting more than the assistant general manager would have gotten 10 years ago.
Yep. Is that not crazy?
Yeah. So 10-year difference, a bottom line employee, base pay employee is making more money than an assistant general manager made 10 years ago. And, no one gets paid enough.
Yep. Here, man, $9.98 an hour plus tips to serve like food and liquor, or food and drinks. I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah, it makes me and Jeremy think
not
about
fair
going
at
back
all.
to bartending.
I still like Tennessee's rule, $2 an hour.
$2.13.
$2.13 an hour.
Yeah,
$2.13.
$2.13. I went to Nashville this past year, and I was talking to some of the bartenders there, and I was talking about pay and stuff. And they're like, tips are great, we're very touristy down here on Broadway. I was like, so what's your hourly? What do you guys like? $7, $8, $9, $10 an hour? Like $2.13 an hour. I'm like $2.13. I would schedule 8 bartenders a day for $2.13.
Oh yeah.
Now let's think about it. They could have 3 bartenders on. It costs them call it $7 an hour. We have 3 bartenders on now. It's $30 an hour.
Yeah. And the only difference is we live in a different state.
That's it. And they're busier.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, so if let's say they don't make enough, right? Like, what is the minimum wage in Tennessee? What, like 13 an hour?
Oh God, no.
No?
Like 8. I think it still is 8 or 9.
No, it's more than that. It's got to be.
Tennessee?
Yeah, it's got
because
to
they're $2.13 with servers. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'd have to look.
Does that still apply? Like, if they don't make like enough in tips, like you still have to like subsidize.
Yeah, but who doesn't? Who
Yeah,
doesn't make
no,
it?
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So now you're a bartender and you're getting to see the
Wow,
$8.98.
Joe, $7.25 an hour.
So I was close.
Yeah.
Yeah. $7.25.
That's pretty good.
$7.20. So $2 an hour this, or I could pay you $7.25. Worth 13 minimum now
Yeah.
in Florida. 13 an hour.
And guess what? I lived in Nashville. It ain't any cheaper here than it is in Nashville.
Really?
My rent, I lived in Franklin, and my rent was $1,000. I mean, and this is going back 6 years ago, or 6, 7 years ago. 8 years ago.
$7.25 an hour.
Yeah. And now
Our bartenders here don't even make $7.25 an hour. Think about it. A minimum wage job in Tennessee, $7.25 an hour.
Yep.
A bartender in Florida, $9.98 an hour.
Yep.
What I wonder is, how do you live off that? Like, it's $7.25 an hour, like 40-hour weeks. That's like $2.80. I don't understand that.
I don't think you can. I mean, the minimum wage, it's pretty. I think the reason it was brought out eventually was that starting job, like your first job, you're going to make this, and then everyone will get up, and be promoted. But
if you look at inflation would make minimum wage be 17, 18, 20, 25 an hour.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if you really try to compare inflation to what the pay is, and said, okay, it needs to match each other, you'd have to probably, most people, minimum wage, I would say non-tipped employee minimum wage would have to be 20, 25 an hour.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this. I bought my house 6, 7 years ago, maybe 8. Give her.
They come with the canoe.
It did, but then he took it back. I swear to God, it came with a canoe right in the backyard. And then he came the next day after I moved in and asked if he could have it back. And I let him.
Better man than me.
I swear to God, there was a canoe.
called that.
You did. There was a canoe in the backyard. They even had this little hoist. It's still there. Used as a pull-up bar now. Where they had this hoist to lift the canoe up. Yeah, it's all still back there. But you as a bartender, all right, so now you're seeing it was $8.98, now $9.98. What after taxes, because you're paying taxes on all your tips.
Yeah.
What does your check look like compared to 3 years ago?
I mean, honestly, like I'll actually, it's probably about $50 more like every week, because I remember 3 years ago.
Because he makes mojitos, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
No,
They tip him better.
no, 3 years ago, I think my paychecks would be like 0 to 80 would be like the range. Now they're like 80 to 150. Like I think this week was 158.
Yeah.
But honestly, hear me, 158, and I get to work on the beach and serve cocktails to people, and there's people laying concrete for 15 an hour. Like
Yeah.
I just don't find any reason to complain. Like even people that don't work on the beach, like let's say you work at like an established restaurant or a chain, it's like you're getting paid $10 an hour and tips.
Yeah.
I just don't get how people complain about it. I couldn't see it.
I think because with inflation, the price goes up, but you price it on the menu. So when the menu price goes up, tipped employees are making more just because the menu's up.
Literally.
So you already get a raise every time the price goes up, and then you get a raise in your pay. You're getting double raised.
Yep. I think our menu just went up, didn't it? What was that, a year ago? Like 8 months ago? We changed the menu? Or no?
June.
June, yeah.
June.
But I mean, with everything going up, I remember during COVID, we couldn't even get gator tail. I forget how much gator tail was, but I remember it was like
God, it was
egregious.
insane.
Yeah, there was some items that were just so heavily taxed during COVID, like we just couldn't serve them.
It was hard to get stuff too. You know, there was
1942.
yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Jeremy made a trade. I couldn't get Patron. He couldn't get 1942.
And I was getting cases delivered to me.
Yeah.
What?
So he's getting
Cases.
them. And this is,
I'm calling back. Can I get a case of Patron? Yep.
you know, this is the old
I
time
couldn't
days.
get 1942.
Yeah, we weren't selling 1942 back
Oh,
then.
no.
You know, we had a couple bottles, but that was for
never
like
used.
when Jeremy would come in and, you know, people like that. We didn't really sell it. So he needed 1942. I couldn't get Patron. We sold shit a ton of that. I was like, well, I'll trade you.
We did a drug deal at the 7-Eleven parking lot. I'm like, hey, man, you bring those 2 bottles. I got 2 bottles. You got that fire in that Royce. Come on, buddy.
No, I need this.
We bet.
please.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, God, Corona. But I mean, just the wages. You know, it's just it's got to slow down at some point, right?
What it stops in 2026
At
when it gets
15 an hour for minimum, regular minimum. So we got 2 more years. So
$9.98, $10.98, $11.98.
so
$12
$12 an hour
12 an hour
for a
plus-
bartender.
plus tips.
That's like $500 a week. Just
Yeah.
if you make nothing, you serve nothing, you stand there all day and just wave at people.
No.
That is kind of insane.
Yeah, it is.
It is a little insane.
Yeah, like we were talking.
It's
on
going to
the-
force more. I'm telling you, force more restaurants out of business. Force more restaurants not to open.
Yeah.
And the big box guys are going to do what it is.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is too, it's like people really don't understand like how much money isn't in restaurants. Like people like have this like persona that restaurants make so much money. It's like they really don't. And when you factor in, I mean, you see labor all the time. When you factor in the labor with it too, it's like you're making pennies, like on the dollar, you're making pennies.
Yeah, like we were talking on the last episode where we should probably just open an Ace Hardware. I mean, but yeah, it's you know, I mean, it's great for the bartender. I mean, you know, you're making good money on your paycheck, which you know, back in the not back in the day, 2 years ago, you would have zero. You know, you'd have a busy week. Your paycheck would be
Nothing.
$0 because it all goes to the government. And at least now you're bringing some home, but you're
I would
bringing
owe
that
money.
I
home.
remember 10 years ago, my paycheck would be like $13, and I don't care. I throw it in my car, I don't care.
Yeah.
I go to the bank every like 6-8 weeks with like 5 checks, 6 checks, totaling like $91. And I'm like, now these people run in to grab their checks.
Oh,
And
yeah, they
their
do.
checks. I mean, these checks are $900, $1,300.
Yeah, it God, there was that bar I worked at. I bartended in New Jersey. It was at Harpoons on the Beach or Harpoon Henry's back then.
I like that name.
So like I had my landscaping business at that point. You know, I was just bartending on the weekends and nights, just a little extra cash. And honestly, I was single. I was trying to get laid.
What?
Yeah. Like that's the only reason I took that job. It was on the beach and there were hot girls and I was single. So
Can't even be mad.
I was there the whole summer I worked. We would shut down in September, like close for the winter. And at the end of the summer, the owner Ed's like, Joe, how many times have I asked you to pick up these paychecks? And I said, Ed, how many times did I tell you I don't want them? He's like, you have to take them. I'm like, I don't. I don't have to do that. And he's like, why won't you take them? I'm like, what, $4 in a check? It's going to cost me more in gas to go deposit it. Like,
How much were all the checks?
I don't know. I never took them. Never took them.
He still got him the top drawer.
He still has them.
At the brass monkey, he still got him sitting there.
I could have cared less. I was making a shit ton of money behind the bar. I paid me $6. It's not even worth to sign it.
I hope he's still waiting for you one day. I hope he's waiting with the checks in hand just
Hope
to
he
run
mails
into
them to you one day.
Here's all these checks you can't cash now.
Right. 6 months later.
But yeah, back then, I mean, you know, I won't say the place because that, I don't know, you know,
Yeah.
time and all that. But, you know, I ran this place, and this is many, many years ago, but we didn't pay anybody. Like the accountant actually got pissed. Like, hey, how do you have no employees? I was like, well, they make tips. She's like, all right, you have a kitchen. Like, oh, yeah, I give him cash. She's like, Joe, fucking stop. So I had to put a couple people on the payroll. But I had no idea. This is when I was starting to learn business.
Were you the only employee?
There were none. I paid myself cash.
If you're at the IRS
No
listening to
one
this,
worked there.
But he's going to be knocking on the door tomorrow morning.
The accountant threw up the red flag, so I had to throw some people on payroll. But I had an agreement with the bartenders. And I don't know if this is legal or not. I never really looked into it because I don't do it anymore.
It's not.
Yeah. But I had
You have to ask that question.
Yeah.
It's not legal.
I had an agreement that said you are working here for tips and tips only, and you will not receive a paycheck. And they signed it. So in my head was like, shit, we're all good. I don't know if we were or not. Nothing ever came out of it.
Was it notarized? A notarized napkin at least or no?
No.
It's written on a napkin.
Yeah.
Hey, sign this napkin. I'm not paying you.
Yeah, you work for free.
You work
sign
for
it.
free. Sign here.
Yeah, we'll give you 213. Sign right here.
Not even that.
Yeah.
You made them pay to work there.
Nothing. You get nothing.
Surprised you put on there. You owe me $5 an hour to work here. Give me your tips.
It's 20% tip out to the
20%
house.
tip out to the house. You run a strip club?
We run
That would have been awesome.
a very tight ship around here, okay? Your accountant's probably loving it, though. Dude,
How
you're
long?
making
How
bank.
long ago is this?
Oh, God. This is early 2000s. Maybe 2007.
Wow. Yeah, they've come a lot. They've come down on the hospitality business, hospitality venues a lot the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Dude, this is back like, you've seen us get our beer and liquor deliveries.
Yep.
So back in this time, I could take out $6,000 in cash and give it to the driver. Like that's how we paid for our booze was cash to the driver. I didn't write a check. We had a bank account.
I remember those sometimes. Yeah, they come in. I'm like, $4,200 all in. There you go.
Yeah, here you go. It was such a cash business.
But it's not a cash business anymore.
It's not.
Have you noticed that hospitality is not a cash business?
Not at all. It's all transactional now.
Yeah.
It's all because they've made everything so they can track you.
Yep.
They were waiting for that. You can't track cash,
No.
but they made it where they can track what you're spending and where it's going.
Yep.
Yep.
Dude, it's even like Jersey Mike's. I got a sub the other day. My sub was about, I think, $20. I got extra bacon. Chips are like 21, 22. And then, they flipped the iPad screen.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And you're like, fuck.
I'm paying 20% now for a sub, man. I was like, come on.
Do you tip?
Oh, no, I have to. It's like my girlfriend hates me for it.
What do you tip?
So I'm
There's 10, 15, 20.
No, dude.
Are you're
no,
the 10
no,
guy?
No, I'm a 20. Dude, so I went to, I don't know if I can name the restaurant right across the street. I got sushi the other night. And
We love Ronin.
yeah,
Love Ronin.
I would
yeah,
absolutely give them props. Love that place.
yeah, I went to Ronin, which is probably the best sushi in town. And I think my
I
bill
would
was
agree.
$68. I tipped her 32. So what is that? That's like 49, 48%.
50%, about 50% tip.
She's also very sexy. So I had to,
His girlfriend's going to watch
Wonder
this.
why he tipped that.
I had to tip her extra.
You
Sorry,
wonder
babe.
why he didn't want you bartending there, bud.
Sorry, babe.
Oh, man.
So do you think? So let's go on to this subject now. This could be good. You think people tip differently on who it is?
Oh, 100%. Dude, if I had extremities, I'd be rich right now.
All right. So you're a male bartender. Do you think it is more profitable to be a female bartender than it is a male bartender?
As sexist as it sounds, I do. I honestly do because I know, like, in my own experience, like, whenever I go to a bar, I don't mean to sound like
Yeah, no.
weird, but I like to have, like, a female bartender. Same thing like
Yeah.
a hospital. I like to have a female nurse. I just feel like it's like a preference thing. Like, you feel more comfortable getting served by a chick, and then plus, it makes it more conversational. Like, if you're a guy and you see a chick,
I totally disagree with you.
really,
I don't care.
really, I got to know.
I'm there at the bar for a reason, food and drink, and the company that I'm with. I'll talk to a dude. Nothing crazy, but I have no problem if a guy serves me my food. I'm not trying to take either one of them home, so it doesn't matter to me. I'm not sure doing over there.
Was that the construction? Well, we have a little bit of a construction noise going on. Apparently, we're fixing things in the. Oh, there we go. That's better.
Soundproof room.
Yeah, but I have noticed. So I feel like female bartenders do get tipped more though than males. Like especially at Chase's, like at like a beach bar.
I don't change my tip percentage based on.
I don't tip
But
my-
I mean, so
You change your tip percentage, don't you?
Come on.
He said, whoa.
Wait a minute.
So Ronan got $32 out of your money. If it was the guy, somebody got $30 of your money? Nope.
It got 5. No, I'm
Five.
kidding. No, I probably would give
You're
him,
like 62 times 2. That's $12. All right, buddy. Thanks for your. I'll make it 15.
yeah. Here's 2.
Dude, I tip. I'll be honest with you. I tip on service, and I don't care if I get a guy or girl. I'm not there for any reason than to enjoy the company I'm with, or even by myself. Even when I go out by myself, and I know it sounds bad. It's what I really, and I get why they do it. I'll tip a male, female, the same thing. I'm there for a reason, for food, drink, entertainment. What is? I'm not necessarily there for any other reason for that. It happens, great. If it doesn't. What really gets me is, and I do, but the fast casual places that want you to tip 20%. When you did literally no customer service, you did nothing besides put meat on my burrito and hand it to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to leave you 20%. I do because I'm in the business.
Yeah, but I don't.
But it's
think
always like, dude, I just paid $37 for 2 burritos, and now you want me to leave a $6 tip, and you literally scoop 2 things and hand it to me.
Yeah.
But I get it, and I do
Like
it.
I said, we do it because we're in the industry, but really should.
That I think my girlfriend and I, we literally got an argument about that because anytime we go out to eat,
You got an argument because you tipped her $33. Don't blame it on
That's
that.
why you got to do it.
Don't even try to blame it on that there, bud. And by the way, Joe's couch is open if you need to sleep.
No, anytime we ever go out, I always tip like over 20.
What's your girlfriend do?
So my girlfriend and her mother, they own a home cleaning business. So they clean like condos, houses, rentals, stuff like that.
They get tips?
So they get paid. I think they get like Christmas incentives, like the landlords. They'll give them like $1,000, $2,000 at the end of the year as like a thank you. But she doesn't really get the concept of service. I feel like in hospitality, if you don't work in it, you don't get it.
She's in a service
providing industry.
It is you're not working for tips though in that part of the service industry.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like you're basically like completing a job. I feel like hospitality. Like if you don't, I feel like everybody should work in hospitality. First of all, I think
100%.
hospitality is a great job. No, if you're gonna be a doctor or not or what, you should always have like a server job or fast food something because it shows you like an appreciation.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like at hospitality, like you just get it more. Like whenever I go to a restaurant, I pre-bus my table whenever I leave. You know, you're tipping more. Like you're more. Someone can give me the wrong meal at my table. If I went to Ronin and got sushi and they gave me a steak, I wouldn't even say anything.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, you know
I'd
what I
eat
mean?
it.
Like,
as long
I'd eat
as
it.
she was blonde, 5'3", and smiled and winked at you.
I'd be like, don't even give me food. Just give me the bill.
Here's that 50% tip, just because.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was, when I would bartend, and this is many years ago, but I would manage and bartend. I would throw myself on a shift or two.
Making bang.
Well, you were allowed to back then. Now managers can't take any tips.
Not fair.
But when I would do the schedule, I learned, and just by money, I would make 20% more having a female bartender with me.
I've always put any bars I've had, I always put a male and a female.
Yeah.
And this is being very sexist, but the male is usually a faster bartender, and the female actually makes more tips.
Yeah, she's raking the money.
So and I've looked at it several times, and I'm not saying that a male's better than a female by any means, but normally I'll look at my male bartender and he did 3,000. My female bartender did
25,
2,100, 2,200, but their tips combined were 47%, 32%.
Yeah.
And if you actually look at their actual tips, which is hard to tell with cash because you throw cash in the same bucket, but if you really look at the credit card tips, she has done $2,100 and made say $400.
Yeah.
He did $3,500 and he made $300, $275.
Yeah.
So a male and a female just like going to Ronin and leaving $32 because she smiled at you.
Yeah, I would always do that because, the way I made that schedule, like, look, I was a fast bartender, and not to toot my own horn, but I was. And I was like, look, you're hot as shit. Let me crank out all these drinks, and I'll go fast.
And you smile.
You go make us money. We'll get the drinks out fast. Everyone's gonna love you. And when it slow down, I'd hop around and I'd do some fun. But she was the star of the show.
It's a Bonnie and Clyde, I'm telling you.
Yep.
Yeah. I love having that mixture of, guy, girl behind the bar because, you can, if there's someone with a preference, like, oh, I'd rather have a girl bartender. I'd rather have a guy bartender. You got the best of both worlds.
That's actually a really good dynamic.
Yeah. I'd rather have Joe make me drinks. A mojito with vodka.
I would have paid to see Joe bartend. I would have, dude. I wish that you could bartend at Chase's.
Yeah, I mean, I can. I just can't take any of the money.
God dang it.
Can't you demote yourself for a day?
Call yourself up. Hey, Joe, you're fired. All right, you're bartending.
Fire myself and then hire myself
You're
back.
a supervisor.
Yes.
Supervisors can take tips.
As long as they're hourly employees, then yes, there is a workaround.
Really?
If they're hourly.
If you're a supervisor and an hourly supervisor, you can actually take tips.
Yeah.
But the minute you put the M word in there,
It's
manager,
over.
Yeah.
the minute you make a salary position, $700 a week, $7,000 a week, $7 million a week, doesn't matter. The minute you make a salary position for working hours, you're not allowed to take tips.
Yeah. So like a manager at $12 an hour could still be a manager and a bar. Well, not a manager. They cannot be a manager. They can be a supervisor, or a lead.
Yep.
They
Key
can
holder.
be that.
Key holder.
Yeah, key holder.
All the Slurpee, all the Frosties you can get.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So give us your best story. Give us your best hospitality story, and not about vodka mojitos.
Well, actually, so today I actually had a pretty good one.
All right.
I got today. I got bamboozled. So I was making a couple of drinks for, I think 6 or 7 bikers came in. You know, bike week passed. I think there was like 6 or 7, or the other day. I can't remember. It all mixes in. So they came in. I was making like 5 or 6 drinks, and the guy comes in and gets a Tito's on the rocks with a splash of tonic. So I poured him the drink. He gives me a 20. I think it was 10.65. I gave him back 9.35. He went off for like a minute or two, and he came back. He's like, "Hey, you didn't give me all my change." I was like, "Oh yeah, I did." I was like, "Give me a 20. I gave you back like the change." Or, like, you gave me $20 bill. He's like, "No, I gave you 100." So I'm looking at him, and there's like 6 people in front of me. You know, they're all staring at me, and they're all overhearing it too. So he's like, "I gave you $100 bill, and you didn't give me the rest of my change." So they're looking at me as if I'm like the bad guy, or if I can't count.
Yeah.
And I'm going crazy in my head. I was like, I could have swore this guy gave me a 20. I was like, I could have swore he gave me a $20 bill.
Did you even have a $100 bill in the machine in there?
I had 100 and a 50. And I was looking at the 100, and I was like, no way did he give me the $100 bill. I was like, no way. Like, but he's like talking to me, and they're all looking at me, and now they're overhearing him saying, I gave you the wrong change. So now they're like, oh, you didn't give him his right change back? So now I'm like, I thought I did, but, you know, no problem. You know, we all make mistakes. We're all human. Sure. So I gave him back like $80 more because that's what the change was for a $100 bill. And he went on. The worst part is he went on the couch and drank the Tito's that I gave him for like 10, 15 minutes. Sat there kosherly with the $80 I just provided him, and then left. So I go to cash out the drawer, and Walt and other manager, they're like, "Hey, you're $80 short," and I'm like, "You're kidding me." They're like, "No, you're $80 short," and they ended up calling Joe, and Joe's like, "You're $80 short." I'm like, I knew it. I knew it in my mind. Like, I gave him a $100 bill, and Joe's like, "What happened?" I was like, I'm an idiot. I was like, this guy got me. I saw that on TikTok the other day. They'll go there, or they'll go to a restaurant, and they'll tell you, "Hey, I gave you this bill," and you're like, "No, you didn't," and they'll make a scene. And by the time they make the scene, you just give them the money to get them out of there. It's like a whole scheme I saw that people do online for money. I just couldn't believe it happened to me.
So you saw it, and then you got caught.
So this guy gave you a 20.
A $20 bill.
Right. Okay, so gave you a 20, got a Tito's.
He left for like 2 minutes.
And you gave him $80. So this guy walked out with a drink and $70. Good for him. Broski, I'm sorry, but good for him.
Yeah.
I hate to say that half for you, but dude, that guy's balling.
Yeah, no.
That guy went to the next place and did it again and again and again. He's like, I went out drinking all night, and I came home with $412.
He's like, this is the best
You want to
part.
know what I do to that? Make sure I call any big bill I get over 50. I call it in front of him. Because I almost got all the time. So I'm like, look at you, but that big hundo. In my own head, I said 100. I used to say a large bill out loud to them when they handed it to me.
Joe literally told me over the phone. He's like, anything that happens, he's like, just stop everything.
Just say it out loud. I'm telling you, go to the guy and look at you and your $100 bill. Yeah, I haven't seen one of these hundreds in a while. I don't care if I have or not. Is this what a $100 bill looks like? I'm not rich enough to have one. Whatever. Because you make a scene.
Yep.
You make them look at it.
Yeah.
That's a really good, wow.
I have those good ideas once in a while.
That is a good idea.
Make a scene.
Yeah.
Make your own scene, but not a scene.
Yeah.
Be like, look at you, buddy, going to the strip club tonight. And I'm like, I know what I said.
But guess what?
Not saying that on a 20.
Every person around is going to remember that.
Remember I said that.
Every
and I
person
said
around.
hundo.
Jeremy, I love you right now.
I
I would
appreciate
have loved you the other day.
I'm not going to lie. I'm going to come there and order a mojito and tell them I gave him a $100 bill, and I'm walking out with $70. And cannot wait. What's your schedule next? I need to make some money this weekend. Yeah, just make a little scene. I used to, because I almost got one time. This guy came up and swore he gave me 100. Same thing. And I go, here's the funny thing. I didn't have 100. So I pulled out my drawer and I said, right in front, I go, you find me the 100, I'll pay you the difference. Lift up the register, I don't have 100. Oh, I must have only gave you 20. I'm like, I know.
Dude, I just don't get how people have the gall to do that. I mean, good for him. I mean, he should have been.
What's the worst thing would have happened? You would have said, no, I gave you a 20. What's going to happen? Customer's always right.
Yeah.
You're not going to argue with him.
So what did I tell you to do next time, Lot?
He said...
Make him a vodka mojito. He'll never come back.
Joe's like, he's like, you should have stopped everything and be like, okay, no problem. I'll check the cameras and I'll go get a manager. Or no, yeah, he said, I'll go check the cameras. And he's like,
yeah, I'll go get a manager to check the cameras.
Yeah.
We just have to verify it, but we'll be with you in just a second. Boom. We have toast, so you can literally from that screen text a manager to come up to you.
Yep.
And then boom. So now the scene's over. You are no longer dealing with that scene. You don't have to. You can deal with your guest. And now that guest is with the manager who has plenty of time to go check the camera and make sure. And then that manager gets to tell them.
I still like mine better.
I know.
Oh, yours is so much
Joe,
better.
who 20 years ago didn't pay people to come to work, is now wants to get all political. Get out of here with that shit. Just make your own little small scene. You're fine.
Joe would have given him napkins saying, "We're not giving you
We're
any
not
change."
giving you your change. On a napkin, we're not giving your change.
Sign right here.
Sign right here. You're paying me $70 to come to my bar. Sign here.
Dude, the worst part is even our cameras don't even work today. I found that out after.
No, they worked. It was the DVR wasn't going to the phone.
Oh, son of a gun.
Yeah,
Man.
I looked at it.
Hey,
he did not give you 100. He definitely gave you a 20.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tall, skinny guy with a red hat. I just can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, I didn't never reset my phone when we got the new modem.
Now, hear me out. One thing with Joe, Joe's tech savvy. Like Toast, our entire Toast system. So we're supposed to have somebody come in there and, like program it and, be like, hey, this is how you do X, Y, Z. Joe was like, give me Toast for a week. Went on Toast for a week, just 24/7 straight, and now he knows every single thing about Toast.
So what I did when we were getting Toast, we were, bought it from a company that installs and does the wiring and does all that. And they were like, look, we'll have you good to go in about a month. And I was like, all right, well, give me a login. Let me play with it while you're figuring out, the programming. And then a couple days went by and I finally logged in and they had done nothing. So I was like, all right, well, I programmed the whole thing. I called them 3 days later. I think it was 3 or 4 days later. I called them and I was like, hey, I'm ready to go live. They're like, we haven't programmed it yet. I'm like, cool, look at it. I'm ready to go live. And then we went live. Didn't need them for nothing.
I literally, every single question, we actually have a button in our Toast system saying lot messed up again that Joe programmed.
Yeah.
Is there actually one that says
There's an actual button so for the text when you can text the manager. He can hit it and it'll just say lot messed up again right on my phone.
I've actually gotten screaming matches with Joe. I rang in tacos one time, and I think it was like fish tacos. I think I rang in chicken or something like that, and I could have swore I was right. I'm like, where are these tacos at? And Joe's in the kitchen working.
I was expoing.
Yeah, and whenever Joe has to go behind the line or like has to cook, it's like a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 day. Like it's a busy day. Or somebody didn't want to show up to work and Joe had to fill in.
Yeah.
So Joe's back there he's like going to the back of the kitchen to make sure everything's good. He's at the extra line, make sure the food's going out. And here comes me telling Joe, you don't have my tacos? And he's like, look at the screen. And Joe just death stares me. Look at the screen. And I'm looking at it and he's like, those are the wrong tacos, aren't they? I'm like, yes. He's like, ring them in and don't mess up again or you're fired. And I was like, yes, sir. That's like I think a month into knowing Joe. I was like, this guy is gonna kill me.
Expo Joe, not super laid back.
You know what's funny? I was when I did that. I like the Expo. I like working for an hour or two.
Really?
I love the Expo.
You guys are wild.
I love the Expo. For like an hour or two, I like it. I would not want to do it all the time.
Whole
I would
day,
not want to do
like-
an Expo. But when it gets in the weeds, I love it.
Yeah.
You yell at the cooks. I'm in charge. Do nothing until I tell you. Drop this, drop this. I've ran the kitchen from the other side at the same time as service. Don't touch anything on this rail. Don't touch anything. Don't grab anything. I don't care if it's a side of chicken. I will read it, and then I'm telling them what to drop as it's coming out because I know that a well done steak needs to go on the grill before a side of fries gets dropped to go out at the same time. So I'm like, drop the steak well, and then I wait, and it's just something with like the math of it. That I know, and the math just kind of rings in my head on. All right, drop a steak. That's going to be 12 minutes. Okay, in 8 minutes, I'm going to tell them to drop the fries, so I get them both out at the same time. Wow, there's 37 orders on there, a side of ketchup and applesauce you didn't even know you had, all at the same time.
Dude, it's a science. It really is. It really is a science back there.
It's fun. It's like brain fun. I know that sounds weird, but it's like brain fun.
It is, and that's the perfect maestro spot. Say you're the general manager, the owner, whatever you do, you could run the whole restaurant from that spot, that position. Servers, bartenders can come right there. It's usually centrally located, a kitchen. They can come right there, ask any question. You can help them, explain them to what to do while you're sitting there watching, and you can be calling out what the cooks are dropping, what you need, what you're waiting on. You can run the whole restaurant from that spot.
And I've seen a burger up there, no cheese on the burger, take it back.
Yep.
What? And then they retook it. I'd rather take it away before you did. And I remember it from fucking 12 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's just like a math thing. It's almost like it in your head, it just gets put in order of what needs to get done. I don't know. It's weird. But I'm glad you have the same Rain Man mentality about the Expo line.
At JB's, the years I was there, the Saturday and Sunday, I managed that whole restaurant from the Expo. every Saturday and Sunday from like noon till volume. I didn't move from that spot.
I bet. There's slam. I mean, I've only been there twice, but I think both times I had an hour and a half wait.
Oh yeah, no.
And it's a small lot over there. It's a small part. I was walking through the beach for like an hour and a half, like my girl and I. I'm like, when is my table gonna be ready? As soon as I go in there, it's all loose. Every table's full. Servers are running through. I can only imagine you back in the kitchen. You're probably like, you're all fired. If this goes out wrong.
Are you an old Trump? You're fired.
Yeah.
How many people have you actually fired right there on the spot?
I mean, there's been multiple.
I haven't seen them. Like, Joe only gets mad when he knows you're completely wrong. Like, I have made Joe very mad.
Yes.
'Cause I've been very wrong a lot of times.
Yeah.
You don't say.
And Joe is very lenient, okay? I'm still here, so I can't say much. If I was Joe, I'd be like, Lot, I love you, but go back to Wendy's, buddy. You're gone.
Key holder at Wendy's.
Key holder Wendy's.
You know you got to get it for Christmas now. Freaking Wendy's card.
A Wendy's Frosty
A
tag.
Wendy's Frosty tag.
Oh, I wonder if they make the house keys with a Wendy's symbol on it. We could give you a Wendy's key.
See a key holder at your restaurant?
No, we don't have key holders.
No key holders?
No leads. We have managers and staff. I used to have leads. It was I think it might have been before Corona.
Yeah, that was.
We might have had it after, but
that was a while ago. Like it was like shift. It was like, what is it? Server leads after closing, like they check out. It's like but that was years.
Yeah, what I was doing, I was paying like an extra $1 an hour to a server to kind of be like a closer. So they'd have keys, they could do the money. They were basically not a manager, but
so instead of $8.05, you paid them $9 an hour?
Yeah. Yeah. And they were cool with it.
They loved it.
But what had happened, it just got to the point where, because what they would do was assign all the side work. Now they'd have to assign themselves side work, but they're going to take the easy one.
I'll take that one.
Yeah.
But everyone just started to get pissed off. Oh, the lead makes me do this because they don't like me. And I just got tired of hearing it. I'm like, fuck it. I'll just do it.
Children.
Yeah.
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 So, Lot, what's next in your career? What's next in the bartending career?
So I graduate May. So I'll probably still be bartending after.
Graduate with?
What project management? So I'll just be sitting behind a computer screen yelling at people.
Wait, product management?
Yeah, no, project. Sorry, project.
Project management.
Like construction, IT, solar, so like stuff like that. But also, I've been thinking about it. I really don't think I'll ever like leave bartending entirely. I think even if I had like a full-time job like with project management, I'd probably still tell Joe like, hey, just keep
weekend shift.
Yeah, just keep me on like a Saturday a week. Or if you can't do Saturday, if I'm not full time, just keep me on. I can pick up.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like bartending is one of those things. Like even if like you don't have like college degree or like a business, anything like that, you can bartend. You can make money anywhere with bartending. I feel like that's like a universal skill.
Yep. Yeah. There's going to be a bar at every town, every stoplight.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
You start realizing how many
of them in New Smyrna.
20
of them in New Smyrna.
Yeah.
Do too many. You start realizing too how many bars there are. Once you start working in like a bar, you're like, oh, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's, like we said, it's just so overpopulated. Maybe it's the way the economy is restaurants purging themselves out. Maybe we're just thinning the herd. I mean, it kind of is doing that. It is thinning the herd. I mean, restaurants are dropping like flies the past 6 months.
And I think it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely going to get worse.
How many restaurants really make it out? Like out of like the first, like let's say 5 years. How many restaurants really make it out of like that first couple
Not
years?
many.
Yeah,
50%. 50% start, 50% close.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, and the unfortunate thing is, and I think it hurts the restaurant industry a lot. Just most people that can afford a bar have never worked in one.
Yeah.
So, you have that. And, some of that, ownership kind of like hires someone that, okay, you're going to run it. Awesome. Yep. But there's some owners that try and do it themselves that have never even served a beer, So, I mean, that's tough.
Foaming up. Trying to pour one, they're like, I can't get it. I can't get the beer to go down.
But yeah, I mean, it's a small business, not just restaurant, not just hospitality. I think we're in a small business purge, and only the strong ones that can keep their head above water during this storm.
I think it's thinking outside the box. I really do.
Yeah.
You can't do the same thing you did yesterday. You can't do the same thing we did 5 years ago.
Nope.
Yeah.
Everything changes, but the problem is your mind has to change.
It does.
You have to change with the change in times.
Yep.
The new thing, mocktails. Kids don't drink as much. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
We couldn't wait to turn 16, 17, 18. We'd go to the clubs, go to the bars, get drunk every night. But now with social media and stuff like that, we went out to meet girls. Now you don't have to do that anymore. You can swipe right on Bumble. You can slide into someone's DM. So going out wasn't like it was. We got dressed every Friday and Saturday.
Because we wanted to get laid.
Right. We wanted to go out with our friends. We wanted to drink, and it was different. That's what we did. Now these kids, they don't care. They'll sit at home, play PlayStation, and swipe right or slide into someone's DMs. Yeah. And they get the same outlook of what they're looking for, whatever that is. So but people don't think that's changed. And if you look at it, happy hours are different than they were. Now nobody goes out for happy hours anymore. Do you remember
really,
everyone went out for happy hours, and the Friday happy hour that everybody did. Ladies' nights are gone.
Yeah.
Gone. I can't remember the last time I did a ladies' night. God forbid you have tell someone a lady and don't give some guy a drink and she's a he and a him and a her. And now you're getting sued because you didn't give some girl guy thing a rum and coke or a mojito with vodka, and now you're getting sued or Cuba Libre. So, ladies' nights are gone.
Yeah,
and who goes?
I haven't seen a ladies' night in a long time.
What was ladies' nights for? Ladies' nights would give free or discount or cheap liquor, so that you got ladies out there. Why? So the guys would come pay full price and try to
impress the ladies.
Well,
and the guys are going to buy the drinks, and they're not going to get the discount because they're not a lady.
And none of that. But people are still doing ladies' nights. People are still saying happy hour 4 to 7, half off my drinks, 2 for 1s. Dude, it's gone.
Dude, I think the only ladies' night I know is Ocean Breeze. That's the only one.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember the Friday night this and ladies in free.
Oh yeah, God! Like
you
Friday
have to
night
keep
at
adapting.
5, 6 o'clock is when we'd be getting ready to go out for a couple drinks, and then we'd come home, and then get ready for night. Going out. So you'd have your happy hour, a couple drinks, make your plan for the night.
People don't work 9 to 5 anymore.
No,
jobs are all over the place. More internet, more home based. So the happy hour is gone. 20 years ago, everybody pretty much worked 9 to 5. That was the norm.
Yeah.
Not saying there wasn't overnight jobs. I'm not saying that people
it
were
was the norm.
It was like
the norm, 70, 80% of people work the 9 to 5 job. Yep. But now with COVID and now with other things is people work from home. People work different hours. People have their own home offices. So why do you think happy hour is going to be what it was 20 years ago when you started? Get rid of it, dump it, find something else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. What is it? We had a bartender at Chase's that she left Chase's, Mallory, for she's working 12 to 8 now. She's on the Washington time zone. Mallory, small tan girl. Joe's seen a lot of faces, but no, but
He fired her.
He fired her. He gave her the napkin. He said, "You're let go."
Sign here, you're fired, and I'm not paying you.
No, but her hours now. So she works in the Washington time zone. So now instead of 9 to 5. I forget how many hours.
She works in Florida, but she works 12 to 8 because that's what the Washington time. That's what I'm saying. It's things have
you know
changed.
What I mean? It's like you can't.
So she ain't going to happy hour.
Yeah,
she will
you
never
can't
go to a Monday through Friday happy hour.
Never. You can't go.
So it doesn't happen anymore. So restaurants, bars, stop trying to push happy hours.
Yep.
Find something new.
Yeah, we got to
find something that works for your area. Find something new. Why? If I hear one more wind down Wednesday, college night Thursday, ladies night Friday, happy hour. Do you wonder why your place is failing or you're not doing as well? Because you're doing the same thing you did 20 years ago, but 20 years ago isn't the same now.
No, especially with social media.
Right. Again, I can slide into someone's DMs. I can get on Bumble, Tinder, Grindr, whatever you're into. You can find now easily with the swipe of a finger. That wasn't the case 20 years ago. If we wanted to meet people, socialize, Joe's terminology, get laid, we'd have to go to a club, bar, restaurant.
Yeah.
That's what happy hour made sense. Yeah. That's why 2 for 1s. That's why ladies' nights made sense. They don't make sense anymore.
No.
It's a shame though now because really you really don't get that like that interpersonal connection with people. Like you said, a lot of people they're not going out. Like you're not meeting people in person. It's always online.
Yeah.
I'm not really good online. Like my online game, not the best. I'm probably my online game right now is just like Aaron Rodgers. It's past its prime. I can't do it.
Past its prime.
It's still good. It's just not what it used to be.
Aaron Rodgers.
See, he just loves the mushrooms too much.
No, not the same.
Not the same, man.
But we are getting to that. Go ahead.
Whoa! We can't stop the show now.
Oh no, I was gonna get rid of the.
First down the mic.
Come on, Karen.
No.
Not
okay. Not yet.
All right. Well,
I heard our buddy over here knows a famous country singer.
Oh yes,
God.
Yes he
Come
does.
on, you can't tell me this freaking story and don't think I'm gonna bring it up.
Yeah, I know. I forgot about it. Yes.
How did you're fired? Sign here.
So a lot. I woke up.
Are you telling the story? You let him tell the story.
I'm going to let him tell the story. I'm
like
just building it up. So I get my phone's going off, going crazy. It's like 7 a.m. Beep, beep. Well, it's the Roadrunner. Me, me.
Your DMs are going off. Yeah. You get DM'd.
Everything's blowing up. I look on, and this is perfect because you can tell the "Come on, Karen."
Come on, Karen. Come on, Karen.
So, tell everyone why my phone was going off like crazy that morning.
I guess I met some famous country singer, which I don't think is that big. That's probably gonna come to bite me in the butt.
Who's his name?
Chris Young.
So you met Chris Young.
Yeah, I met
the country
Chris,
singer.
Yeah, I met Chris Young. It was him and like four women, and in his like remark, they were all pretty attractive. Like they were all pretty ladies. Like he was with like a nice little group. They were all having drinks. I didn't know their names, which is rare for me because it's like a very local bar. So if you walk in, I probably know you. Like if you walk in, like I would see like, oh hey Jeremy, hey Joe.
Yeah.
Paul, Sydney, like I would know their names.
And I go, here's 100. Here's a 20. Where's my change?
He's like, give me a Tito's and $70.
Give me Tito's and $70.
Trying to have a party tonight. So I usually know them, but I didn't know this guy. So I'm making small talk like any bartender would do. I'm like throwing like little casual jokes. They're loving it. And then I went to go give him the beer, and I was like, whenever I don't know anybody's name, I'll be like, oh, here you go, brother, or something like that. Like, since I don't know your name, I'm just using some kind of noun or verb to kind of.
I go with Bud.
Yeah, I'm like, here you go, Bud.
I go Sunshine. Yeah, here you go, Sunshine. Tired girl, Sunshine. Here you go.
He would have punched me across the bar. Here you go, fruitcake. He would have hit me across the bar. I guess he hated that. I said, here you go, brother. Or I probably said, here you go, handsome. Something. And
it was probably handsome or sexy.
It probably was handsome or sexy.
Yeah.
And he did not like that
I
at
would
all.
not be upset if some dude called me handsome. I may be a little weird, but I'm not be upset about it.
I know.
No, I wouldn't.
If I came in and got you being like, here you go, handsome, I'd be like, that's a little weird, but I wouldn't be mad about it.
I'm blushing right now, man.
Right,
Come
thanks.
on. Got me all teary-eyed. No, dude, I had no idea to react. Like, he went very quiet, and I guess he was, like, extremely upset, had no idea.
Do you think it's because you didn't know who he was?
Probably.
I doubt it's because you called him dude or bud or handsome. It's probably because you didn't recognize it was Chris Young. Now, was anybody else in the bar know it was Chris Young?
Dude, nobody knew who this guy was.
So except for the 4 girls who were sitting there, nobody knew it was Chris Young.
If he would have walked in, I'd be like, oh, hey, you live in New Smyrna? I have no idea who this guy is.
And again, nobody in the bar knew who that was.
No,
he didn't have like a fan club trying to get autographs behind him.
I still didn't even know this guy. Like, if you point him out in a lineup, I couldn't even point this guy out. Like, I do not think of this guy. Like, he's weird. But so he got so mad, and then I want to go give out the checks, and I'm pretty sure like the ladies pay for themselves, which me personally would not let that happen. That's just me, that's just me. But whatever. So he like made the chicks pay for themselves or whatever, and he leaves. He's like, oh, by the way, you're so rude. You're an A. Like he's selling me out behind the bar. Like the chicks are watching. There's like a few customers looking, and I have no idea how to react to this because I'm a bartender. Like my entire life is like making fun of people. And making you laugh.
It's making fun with people.
Yeah, with people. You know what I mean?
Fun with people.
With people. So he's like selling me out, and I thought he was kidding. I'm like, dude, I hate Lot. I'm like, Lot sucks. And he's like, no, dude. He's like, you suck. And I was like, huh. I was all right. I was like, have a great day. I was like, hope you come back. And I guess he left. He left here. He left Chase's and went to another restaurant and made another post that I got a call from Joe about. He's like, oh, the drinks and whatever is so much better than Chase on the beach, which has terrible service.
No, he said, it's better than the place that rhymes with aces, is what he said.
I just couldn't believe it. I was like, "You're this mad?" I was like, "Just punch me in the face. You were that upset about
and
it."
You still didn't get fired for that one?
Dude.
Yeah,
it was close. It was
close.
Joe was he was mad.
Luckily, I was able to. We have a mutual friend, and I talked to him, and I was like, I called him, I think 9 times in a row. At 6:37 in the morning.
You know where I'm going with this, right?
I don't.
You know who's coming on the show in 2 or 3 weeks, right?
Who?
Chris Young.
Oh my god!
Make it happen.
All right,
make it happen.
I love it.
Your friend knows?
Yeah. So, like I call my buddy and I'm calling him 9 times, man. I'm like, answer, and he finally answers. He's like, hey, what's up, man? What's going on? I'm like, hey, I know. Sorry, it's super early, and he's like, I'm in Vegas. It's super late. I'm like, oh, fuck, my bad. I'm like, dude, can you please call Chris? Like, I don't know what happened. Lot's an idiot. I'm so sorry. Like, just call him and tell him, like, I'm so sorry.
This no good.
But so he ends up doing it. He ends up taking he edited the post and, just said, nice things about Breakers. Because, Breakers is awesome.
Yeah.
I love Breakers. But, oh, man. I was on that. I think I paced around that restaurant. Whoa.
When I saw Joe and I saw the look in his eyes, I literally was like, all right, I'm applying to a new job today. He was like, Lot, what did you do? In my defense, I had a great argument. I was like, I have no idea what I did. He's like, Lot, how could you let this happen? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, he posted on Facebook and here and here. And I was like, this guy posted about it?
The guy with 5 million followers.
I was like,
Like you're becoming famous in the wrong direction.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way this guy's selling me out now online too. Honestly, I hope I do come back and I talk to this guy face to face because I gotta know how he was that mad. Like,
I'm curious what
gotta
happened.
know.
I want to know, like, because I've heard your side of
You
it.
know what? I'm telling you what it was. I have a feeling what it was. You didn't recognize him in front of 4 women that he wanted you to recognize him. He wanted to be famous.
I don't think that's it. I don't.
No,
I think he gets that enough. I think he likes the small town.
No, what is it? What is it? I'm pretty sure Rachel and you listen over the camera, so we have audio.
Did we? I can't. It's been a while.
Yeah, we had audio, and Rachel was like, she's like, dude, you made it. She's like, you made like a joke. I'm pretty sure I did call him sexy. I'm pretty sure that's why I got mad.
Yeah. I mean, that.
I'm like 100% sure I called him sexy or handsome. It was like one of the two. And I guess I said that, and he did not take it well. And Rachel's like, Lot, you say it to everybody. So I wasn't like saying it maliciously, like.
No, you do.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, Chris, if you're hearing this, like, I don't hate you. I wasn't trying to like make you look bad or anything. I just didn't know your name. Now I know your name. I don't know what you look like, but once I see you again, I'm like, oh, hey, buddy.
But I would love to hear Chris's side of it, just because I want to know. Like, I know Lot's point of view, but I don't know what Chris's is.
Chris is like, he spit in my drink.
I was just super happy that he was nice enough to change the post, and all good.
Yeah.
Just a super stressful morning when 5 million people think your place sucks.
Chris, if you're hearing this, can I get a 5-star review on Google, please?
Watch, you'll have one tomorrow.
Yeah. That was my stress. Like, how many people, how many followers that he has. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how to rebound from that.
Don't worry, I
Is he
got
working
you.
for the writers' round? You might want to give him the day off.
Yeah, right.
Dude, he's going to pull up with a posse and jump me. There he is.
Make a song about it.
Yeah.
It makes a song about it.
Ooh.
Bartender.
That is a song. Can't
I
steal
hate
that
them.
one.
I really want to punch him.
I want to punch the bartender.
But Lot, I want to thank you so much for coming on. It's been a good time. And, grab yourself some Spring 44 next time you're out.
I'm springing to it.
Lot, I'm sure, Lot's not much of a drinker. So this is a vodka or the gin, I think that you would really like it for your one drink before you pee your pants.
Yeah.
He's a lightweight. So before we go, I got a funny one. So it was after Corona, we were just getting back. I think it was after Corona. We were just getting back to like normal. And, the owner wanted to, give everyone a cool, employee, just take us somewhere. Basically, take us out. The whole staff closed for the day. So we go up to game time. We have fun. Open bar, buffet. We can play all the games. We're getting ready to leave. And like I said, Lot never drinks. Lot drank this day. Everyone's accounted for. The bus is there. Can't leave. We've lost Lot. I was looking under bathroom stalls. I was looking in the bowling alley. I went to employee only area and got yelled at.
He passed out in the jungle balls.
All this time, a bunch of us searching. Where's Lot? He was passed out in the back of the bus.
Off of one glass of Merlot.
Yeah. Out cold.
I slammed a glass of Merlot in front of like our older bartender, Michelle.
Frick.
Yeah, Michelle Frick. Beautiful woman. I have a picture with her. Me holding her. Best day of my life. And I told her, I'm like, Frick, this one's for you. And I chugged it. And I think 20 minutes later, my world started spiraling down.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how potent
Nobody
the wine
recognized
was.
he was on the bus?
No. He was in the very back seat.
I escaped. So I walked out of game time. Like, while they're all enjoying it, like with an hour left, I literally I stumbled to the bus and I passed out in the back seat.
So he was like curled up in the fetal position in this bus. So like you go on the bus, we looked, we didn't see anybody. Oh yeah,
I was covered in the bus, and then as we're going back, it's like rocking. So I'm like, oh God, please don't do this to me. I'm like about to yak in the bus, so I'm holding it in. The minute we park, like the minute we hit Chase's and they open up the door, I think me and Camden go running to the restroom, and I'm just throwing up my guts for like 20 minutes off of one glass of wine.
One glass of Merlot.
One glass of Merlot. Dude, I never drink. I'm a lightweight as it is, so I never drink alcohol. So whenever I do, it goes through me fast.
It does. And it's hilarious.
Yeah. Which is good, though, because as a bartender, you can always tell if I'm ever drinking on the clock.
Have a shot.
Have a shot. Ow. Hear me out. I'll be driving back and get a DUI.
No, let's not do that.
Yeah, no, that'd be bad.
Sponsored by Spring 44.
But we want to thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back next week. New episodes every Friday. And thank you a lot for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think we'll. What do we have? We have something coming up next week, don't we? Besides maybe Chris Young.
We're gonna try on that one.
Yeah, we're gonna try on that one.
We're gonna try on that one.
But yeah, Dad, tune in, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, y'all.
Later, guys.
Did you try these gummy bears?
Dude, those are really good.
Fucking amazing. The best gummy bears I've ever tried.
Those are actually really good. Wait, Chris Young's really coming back here in 2-3 weeks?
Oh, fuck. That'll be a funny ending with the gummy bears. As it's like panning out.